Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Albert with Super Dope Studios, and I wanted to just come back and create this video because I know a lot of people are dealing with this right now in this bear market. What do you do to survive in a bear market? I just wanted to give some of the things that we're looking at doing, what we do to survive in this time. So, the first thing I definitely want to talk about is mindset. So, I want people to take a moment and understand a few things, right? Your mindset is very, very important at this time when there's so much negativity in the markets, there's so much negative sentiment, people are losing money, that kind of thing. First and foremost, your wealth does not equal your self worth, right? And so I know a lot of people struggle with this. A lot of people attach their net worth to their self worth. And when they see that net worth going down, they feel less and less and less. And that number, that money number, can change up and down, but your self worth is, you're intrinsically valuable. And so it's easy to like get lost in that emotional roller coaster of losing money. And so I just want to remind people, take a moment and think about that really, because there's people that have really hurt themselves, hurt their families by attaching their self worth and their net worth. And so try to decouple those things during this time. Money is an illusion, and we play the game of life with it. It's, especially in the crypto markets where something's worth nothing and then it's worth $10,000, $20,000. Like, where did that come from? Right? It's illusionary. And so don't base your real life relationships and your life and your health based on this imaginary game that we play called money. Market sentiment is going to be very negative and toxic. And so you may want to limit your time that you expose yourself to the markets, the media, the mass media. But also remember that even as bad as the markets are, there are people who are making money in a down market. And so the real trick is to understand and learn, or want to learn, hey, how are they doing that? Right. Um, Another reason or another thing to consider is during this time, a part of your mindset should be, let me take this time, this down cycle time, to learn, to grow, to plan things out, right? Because like having liquid money, liquid cash on the side for when things are on a discount in order to make purchases when things are so low, you know, it almost only gets learned during the time that you live through a down market, right? You're like, man, I wish I would have done this. I could have bought this at this price. And so take this time to learn those things and to like plan for the next time that something like this happens, because it's pretty much guaranteed to go up and down like it's always done. Um, Also remember that over the longer term, markets tend to go up. So remember that on a longer time scale, you're looking, month to month, maybe not so much, year over year, 5 years over 5 years, the markets tend to trend upward. And so just remember that, put that in the back of your mind. Another thing to remember during this time is that great projects are going to stand out in hard times, right? And all the BS projects, they're going to fall by the wayside. It really reveals who's worthy of our investment. To see how they react to these things, how they stay relevant, how they continue to build or not build. Was it all about the money and the hype cycle that was being driven by other things and not the viability of that project? So you can kind of see some things come out in this time. Okay. The main thing that, I've talked with my business partners about, especially my master technical analyst Pips, the number one thing he recommends is to dollar cost average, right, during this time. And so dollar cost average, DCA, you're going to hear, into solid projects, solid tokens. Like, for those that don't know what that means, an example is if you have $2,000 that you want to invest, don't invest all of it at once. Invest it $200 at a time over time. So it's set intervals. So set those intervals and then just stick to them. And the price is going to continue to fluctuate, but you're most likely going to get all of what you're purchasing at a better average price. And so DCA is kind of like one of the main pillars of what we should be doing for NFTs and crypto and any other kind of investments, is dollar cost averaging into investments. Because if you follow markets, you understand that there's going to be a reversal of this downward trend at some point. So another thing to consider here during this time is to learn to do deeper research. So have a willingness to learn, to invest time, to seek answers to things you don't understand. There can be a lot of opportunity in doing this research. Read white papers, like actually go through and read the 40-page white paper, try to understand what these projects are talking about, what they're doing. Is it really a viable thing? Like, go deep, research the teams behind these projects, where they come from, what have they done. Like, get real deep into the research, because it's only going to serve you during this time to pick better projects. And also, when things start to reverse, you're going to have that skill set of knowing what to look for. And then another thing to look at is to dig into the who's in the community. Who are the influencers in the communities that support these projects? Who are the smart, the big brains that are saying, yes, this is a good project? Why do they think that? So start to understand and identify who those people are in that community, to get a gauge of the quality of the community behind the project that you're looking to invest in. Next would be it's probably time to diversify or to consider diversification, right? So looking into other solid NFT projects, crypto projects, blue chip NFT projects at this time, I would recommend mostly. Even Fortune 500 stocks. I mean, stocks aren't going to go anywhere. I personally don't invest in stocks. I have some, but I don't. That's not what I do typically. Obviously, this is not financial advice. I'm just some things that we consider and are looking at. We don't think stocks are going anywhere. And so it could be a time to diversify into those that are on a very steep discount. And then also look into holding some liquid cash for opportunities to buy things at a really low price. So to cap this up, to summarize, remember, you don't want to be investing more than you can stand to lose, right? That's just should be a golden rule. Historical markets will repeat themselves mostly. And so if you understand that, you understand that things go up, things go down, things go back up, right? Over time. And again, historically, markets will trend up on a longer time scale. So just keep that in mind. And then another pretty key metric to look at. It's not guaranteed, but it's a good metric to look at is all-time high prices for these projects. They're not guaranteed, but they can be a decent indicator of the potential for a project. If a project is sitting at $3, but the all-time high was $80, well, if it reached half of its all-time high, you could make a pretty good gain. And so using that as just one of your criteria when you're looking at projects during this time could be helpful. Okay. So yeah, that should wrap it up. Lastly, I just want to mention that I am starting to do these one-on-one private mentorships where I'm mentoring people on all things crypto and NFTs. You're going to save time, money, and effort learning quickly and cutting through all the noise. You're going to understand what you need to know, how to stay secure, how to navigate and operate in the crypto and NFT space. If you're interested, please feel free to reach out. Yeah. So hopefully this was valuable to you guys. Have a fantastic day. Later.